right, today we're going to be talking about time blocking. My name is Derek Tye, and we've had a great time so far. If you haven't caught the last 3 or 4 videos, I encourage you to go back and look at those. So what is time blocking? Well, most successful real estate agents in the world follow this one simple practice. They block a certain amount of time in their schedule every single day that they make their time block happen. You know, John Maxwell is famous for saying this. He said, if you could do the same 5 things every day and you could figure out what those 5 things are, you're going to be super successful in any business that you choose to do. So today in the real estate business, we're going to get very specific and talk about exactly what a time block is and how you can incorporate it in your business. So the first thing we're going to do is identify what is a time block. Well, a time block is something very specific. So you're taking an amount of time. Now this could be from 15 minutes all the way up to a year. So let me explain what that means. So a 15-minute time block might be, so today for 15 minutes I'm going to meditate. That would be a time block. And you say from 8 a.m. to 8:15 I'm going to do this. That is very specific. You could also say the 1 year. Well, what's that mean? Well, some people actually take a year off of their normal business and they do something like a sabbatical. Well, that would be a time block. You're saying, I am not going to work in this amount of time. So what is another time block? It could be anything in between that. It could be a 1-hour time block, 5-hour time block, a 1-week time block. You make it up. You understand, right? It's an actionable amount of time as well. This isn't a time usually that in the real estate business you're going to not be doing anything. You're going to be doing something. So there are 5 key activities we're going to talk about at the end of this video that I believe you should be doing every day, and you should make that part of your time block. So the next thing in your time blocking regimen you need to do is set up a bunker or a strong defense. So what do I mean by that? Well, if your time block is to make lead generation calls from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and you're in the middle of a busy office, what's going to happen? You're going to get distracted, right? People are going to come up to you, they're going to want to talk to you, just being social, friendly people that we all are. Unfortunately, that's not going to help you in your time block. You need to build a bunker. So in my world, what I try to do is find an area that no one else is in. I shut the door and I actually put up a sign that says, I'm doing my one thing. If you do that, the likelihood of somebody coming in and causing an interruption is pretty low. Second thing I do is I actually turn off all the notifications on my phone. I'll put it on a do not disturb mode, so I'm not getting any new text messages, phone calls, email alerts. I also have gone through my Facebook, Instagram, etc. and taken all the notifications off that. So there's no beeping and no chimes, none of that's happening. It's just going, it's going to be me making my calls at that time. So now I'm going to give you an example of what my time blocking looks like. So first of all, I start with my annual time with my family. So I usually look at 2 to 3 weeks of vacation throughout the year, and I time block those out because they're very important to me. There's 3 or 4 big events with our company that I like to attend every year. So those are about 3 to 4 days a piece. I put those in my calendar immediately. Then I look at any opportunities I have to teach in other market centers or teach to a national audience. I make sure that those are time blocked as well. So then I get down to the once a month, once a quarter goals, is my wife and I like to take a little trip out of town, just the 2 of us. So I time block those in as well. Then I get down to the monthly level. Our family likes to do some kind of volunteer activity together. We want to get out and do some service in the community. Our goal is to do that once a month. It doesn't always happen, but that is our goal. And then a weekly activity for us is to go to church every Sunday. That's right in my time block. It's in there every Sunday, and it always happens. And then we have a weekly date night. My wife and I try to choose either a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night every single week that we actually make that date night happen. And then we get down to the work goals. I want to make sure that we're doing lead generation on a daily basis. So I block that in from 9 to 11. I block a lunchtime in from 12 to 1, and I'd like to be eating lunch with someone else at that time, either a vendor, supplier, someone that we do business with, a past client, someone that can refer us some business. So I try to make that a productive time. And then during the time block from 1 to 4, I do my lead follow-up. I go on my appointments. And then at 6 o'clock, I time block in my dinner with my family every night. Now there are some exceptions to that, but my time blocking goal is to eat dinner with my family every night by 6 o'clock. In the real estate business, you can imagine that's really tough. But the more concentrated effort I make on the time blocking part of those things, my appointments to go on, the time blocking for my lead generation, the easier it is for us to time block the evenings and weekends. So we've done a time study. A lot of successful real estate agents have had this time trap that they fall into. Let me explain that to you. So there's 5 things that most agents do every day that are kind of taking most of their time. It sucks away 80% of the time. And that would be managing contracts. That would be doing administrative work. That would be following up on other agents' requests, going on inspection appointments, following up with appraisals, going to closings, and in general, just wasted time around on social media. We all know what those things are like, right? Well, there are actually 5 key activities you should be doing every day that should fall into your time blocking time. Now, we didn't talk about my early morning routine, but we do some of those during that. Number 1, we talked about lead generation. So that goes in there, that 9 to 11. Don't forget lead generation every single day, just like John Maxwell said. Number 2, lead follow-up. So that's why I do that in the afternoon. It's very important to us that we follow up on the leads that we've already cultivated during the lead generation time. Number 3, going on appointments. It's time blocked in right into my schedule. Number 3, you have to go on appointments to make money, right? Sometimes you can do those appointments over the phone, sometimes you can do them in person, but you have to go on those appointments. Number 4, you have to negotiate contracts. If you don't negotiate contracts, who's going to do it for you? That's one of those things you really just can't outsource to someone else on your team. And number 5, you can't forget this, that is doing script practice. So role playing and script practice and practicing objections are huge. Most real estate agents never practice their scripts, and we're going to go over this in a separate video. You have to practice your scripts, and the more you do that, the more fluent you're going to be with your rebuttals and language, and ultimately you're going to be able to serve more people. So in summary, you learned today what time blocking is, how you can get started doing it, that you should have an accountability partner in place right now to help you stick with it, what you should be doing the 5 things during the time block, and the 5 things you should not be time blocking for. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I hope you'll be able to see some of the future videos, and I fully expect that you're going to become a better real estate agent as part of it. You have a great day.